Bearcats open Saturday against Alabama A&M. That game will be at Nippert Stadium, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN3 and Fox Sports Ohio. Coach, thank you so much for joining us on the call this morning. If you would just take a minute to tell us about your preseason camp, how that has gone for you, what you expect to see from your team as you return to Nippert Stadium to take on Alabama A&M, please.
Thank you very much. It's been a good camp. We had a relatively cool camp. It wasn't as hot as I would have hoped, but we're starting to get some hot weather this week. We've stayed relatively healthy. We've had a couple of injuries to some younger kids, freshmen. I think they even came out of their high schools with injuries that we've had to fix. So we're relatively close to what we would hope to have been going into the first game. We've had 2 very physical scrimmages, and they've gone quite well. We need to play somebody now after practice for almost 4 weeks, and need to play somebody else to find out where we're at and what we need to work on. Excited about coming home to Nippert Stadium. It's a beautiful place. We had 4 big high school games in the stadium this past week to work the bugs out, and it went very well. It's a beautiful venue. Looking forward to being part of it, and should be a credit to college football. So opening up on Fox Sports South this week against Alabama A&M. Don't know a lot about them, but excited about just getting back to Nippert Stadium, having a home venue, and getting ready to start the 2016 season.
Take questions for Coach Tuberville, please. *1 on your telephone to join the queue, then the operator will introduce you.
Our first question is from Dan Tortora from Dan Tortora Broadcast Media.
Hi, Coach. How you doing today?
Dan, what's happening?
Not too much. Just, first and foremost, I know you talked about getting through the preseason, not having to worry about too many injuries, but when you look at this team and kind of what the makeup is at this point, who are some of those guys that you've really leaned on in camp to push forward in this 2015 season?
Well, we've got to get better on defense. We were absolutely awful last year, the first 4 games, and we can't come out and play the first few games like we did last year defensively and making a difference what we play any other place. And so we've been working on our depth on our defensive line. I think we've got a chance to have a very good 2 deep, some very inexperienced, but they will grow up as the year goes. But I think they're going to be excellent college football players. Linebacker-wise, we lost both of our inside guys last year, replacing those, not just looking for starters but also depth. We have more athletes at that position. Got some younger guys. I think as the season goes on, it's going to prove that we'll be better on defense just because of the guys that we have at that position. We've got more depth in the secondary than we've ever had. We don't have to move quarterbacks over there like we have in the past to play defense. So last year I thought we had maybe 15 total guys that could play college football on defense. This year we're closer to 25. So we just got to work on that and try to help our offenses. Our offense was one of the better ones in the country last year, and in the conference we're going to have to continue to get better on defense to help them.
And what can you say about this conference and its evolution, with you being a part of it and then having Navy come in this season and also, with the conference championship and everything is to come, just what you can say about the growth of being part of the American?
Well, I think it's huge that we got Navy to come into a conference. Normally the military schools, they try to stay independent, but I think it's huge that they're part of our league. They bring a lot of class, a lot of patriotism to our conference. It gives us our 12th team where we can have a conference championship, which I think it's essential that we have one to try to break into the BCS, and I think that's going to help. I think this year our conference from top to bottom is going to be very, very close. There's for some reason we were picked to win the conference, but there's not a touchdowns difference between most of the teams in our league. So it could be one of those years where we beat each other up. I don't think there really is a team that really stands out amongst all the other teams that's truly the best. I think we're all about the same. So excited about the 2 divisions, then excited about having an opportunity to play in a championship game. I think that's really going to help our league.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And we'll take Tom Groshen from the Cincinnati Enquirer. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hi, Coach. I wanted to ask about just generally where you think this program stands entering your 3rd year, and what is the next step for you?
Well, our next step is continue really to try to get better because we haven't been very good, to be honest with you, athletically from top to bottom. First 2 years, we've had some very good receivers. We had Brandon Kay at quarterback. We had Munchie Legault. But we hadn't really been solid on both sides of the ball. We're still searching for that football team that can compete on both sides and in the kicking game week in and week out in major college football. Our recruiting has been very good. I think we're stronger athletically. We have more athletes on the team. I think we've got about 60 players now that can compete on the major college level. That's going to help us. We just got to become more consistent. As I said earlier, we were terrible on defense last year. We were very good on offense the first half of the season, and in the end of the season, we started balancing it out. Defensively, we started playing better. Our kicking game came around. So for me as a head coach, I want to start out the season where both teams are on both sides of the ball are very competitive, and we don't have to cover up for weaknesses. I think we've got enough talent. I just, number one, you got to be lucky. You got to stay healthy, but you also got to continue to get better. And so we don't have much time to waste. First non-conference game against Alabama A&M, then we jump right into a very good Temple team the second week. So hopefully we start faster this year. That's my goal, start faster and play better and play more consistent.
You said you had 60 players that can compete. What did you have previously in your estimation?
I would say first year we weren't close to 40. We had a lot of guys that were injured, guys that really couldn't play on the level that we needed them to play. We didn't have the depth. Last year we were closer to 45 to 50. This year we're closer to 60. Now, that being said, is that going to hold up? The fallacy that we have in college football is we don't have an opportunity to either scrimmage against somebody else, compare ourselves to other talent. We're going against each other. And, for safety purposes and all that, and for building football programs, I wish we would have, sort of a scrimmage or a 2-day workout against another team where we could get a better idea of where we're at and what we need to work on. But the thing about college football, everybody rolls out this week. No matter what you've done or how good you were or how good you think you are, you're getting ready to find out. So everybody will open up that present this week and find out how good they are and what they need to work on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have any other questions for Coach Tuberville, please? Coach, well, thank you for your time today. We look forward to talking to you again next Monday. Coach Tommy Tuberville from Cincinnati and Bearcats against Alabama A&M. Game will be at Nippert Stadium, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN3 and Fox Sports Ohio.